Denise, and welcome back to Camping with Emmy. In this episode, I'm going to be recovering the Banquette cushions. They are very much 1990s, as you can see, this fabric, since the camper was built in 1999. So definitely want to take this off and make some new covers for these cushions. The foam is actually still in very good shape, and so I'm going to keep it. I have already taken some of the material off, but here's the foam, and it really was still in really good shape. So I am going to use this and just recover it with new fabric. If you've ever priced foam, you know it's very, very expensive. So I was really happy that this foam was still in good shape and that I could reuse it. So that was a big plus. Now, the one thing I was not counting on was this is the back piece of the Banquette. And it looks like one big piece, but in actuality it's not. When I took the cover off of it, I discovered that it was actually done in two different pieces, the foam. And what they did is they wrapped material around one piece of foam, and then they wrapped more material around the second piece of foam, and then they used even more material to hold it all together. And although it looks real nice in the end, I'm not going to go to all that trouble just to recover this cushion for the Banquette. So my solution is I am going to glue these two pieces together and then, just cover it like you would a slip cover, like I'm going to do for the bottom seats. And I am going to use some Gorilla Glue, and that should hold this in place really nicely. I want to show you the fabric that I picked up that I'm going to be recovering these cushions with. And this is what I got. Picked this fabric up at Joann Fabrics, and it is a nice heavy-duty upholstery fabric. I really liked the print on it. As you can see, it has, a really nice little stem with leaves, and it has, the different shades of green. It has a little bit of gray and a little bit of brown. And I think that this material will complement very much the cabinetry that I painted in the kitchen in that really pretty green, and the base for the Banquette as well. It also has somewhat of a muted background to it, which I think is great, because if you do get a little spot on this, you're really not apt to see it. Where if I would have used a solid color, I know the really light colors are in right now, and I think they look really pretty, but for our family, I don't think that's very practical. I want something that you can easily wipe down and won't show if you have a little bit of dust or dirt get on it. So this is the beautiful fabric. What I'm going to be doing is I'll be taking these slip covers off, and then I'll be ripping apart the seams with my seam ripper, because this makes the best template, because it's already the perfect size for these cushions. So all I'll have to do is rip out the seams and then lay this on top of my new fabric, and I will have the perfect template to cover my cushions with. I will be doing this project in my dining room, because my craft room, I do have a craft room, it is also undergoing an extreme makeover. So once I get my camper videos all done, I will be showing you my craft room makeover, which is really, really going to turn out nice, and I can't wait for you to see it. But in the meantime, this particular project is going to be done in my dining room. So Rick and I are going to be gluing these two pieces of foam together. Actually, we'll have two sets for the Banquette, and since we're using the Gorilla Glue, you do have to dampen your surface a little bit first so you get a better adhesion. So
we'll dampen her up.
Okay.
That enough?
Yeah, I think that's probably good. I don't know if this is going to work. We'll see, won't we? So hopefully it will. I think it will. And I know with this glue, it expands and a little bit goes a long way. So we will get some on here.
Well, this will be inside of a cloth anyways, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we just want to keep it from separating, but the material will help hold it together as well. So,
okay.
all right. So now we're going to very carefully put these two together. It's not a okay here. So go ahead and put your side.
Lay your splat.
Okay,
It's
the
not going
glue's
to
gonna
touch.
drip, so we gotta hurry.
Okay. So get it
Okay.
lined up.
All right, so we're gonna get it nice and lined up good. And we have some clamps that we're gonna put on. Clamp these together.
Kind of work all right.
Yeah, I think it will.
The clamp somewhere in here.
Yep, so we'll do one clamp in the middle and one on each end.
Ooh. On this end.
And we'll get them as tight as we can. And
Just enough to squeeze it together, which I think everything's good. And here we are with my favorite homemaker, Denise, who always has a project waiting for me. I'm so grateful to be allowed to be useful in this lifetime.
I am not using any of that.
Okay, so let's go reality check here.
All right.
I'm so sorry I said anything bad or out of line here.
Well, we took off the clamps and guess what? The Gorilla Glue worked. It glued. It looks like both pieces are nicely glued together. So luckily we do not have to go to plan B. So we have one glued and now we're going to go ahead and do the second one. I have finished ripping out all of the seams on the old covers, and the next step is to lay the old material on top of the new and pin it all down, and this way I will have the perfect template to cut out and sew my new covers for the banquette cushions. covering my foam with some batting. Just like this, I'm going to wrap it over, and I will be covering all 4 pieces of foam for the banquette set. And the reason for doing this is partially because of these back cushions, you know, had the break in the foam. And this is going to help kind of smooth that out, so it looks like one smooth transition once I get the cover on it. And also it just makes it much more finished and looks really nice once it's all put together and done. All right, so now I'm going to put the cover on this foam and we'll see how it turns out. Hopefully it looks good. We'll see. All right, I have the 2 back cushions almost done. I just need to finish up the bottoms on them, but here's how they're looking. And I really think that they turned out really, really nicely. You can see here, you know, I have the batting inside, you know, wrapped all inside there. And once I get the bottoms finished, this will be a little bit more tight, but you won't be able to see the transition in the foam. And I think it's turned out really, really nice. So now I just have to do the 2 bottom cushions and get them done. I could not wait to finish this project and get these cushions done so that I could bring them out to the camper and see how they look. And honestly, I could not be more pleased. I really think that they turned out beautifully. I love the organic print of the fabric with the leaves, and it kind of has an almost muted watercolor effect, which I think is just lovely. And I will say that this was a little bit of a time-consuming project. I worked on these off and on for probably a week, but I really feel that it was worth all the time and the effort that it took to reupholster these cushions. If you liked today's video, please hit the like button and leave us a comment below. And subscribe so you'll be notified of our upcoming videos. Next up is going to be the bunk beds. So I hope you guys stay tuned. And on behalf of Rick and Emmy and myself, as always, thank you for watching and have a great day.